Hey, this is Christy. You're following my journey of weight loss and sticking to routines, even though I have ADHD and plenty of reasons to fail. So, everything is going fine. I am getting over my little snafu from my extra little cycle and all that stuff. And it definitely, like, my eating habits were just like through the roof. And so I felt like I gained like pretty much everything back. I went back to 161, so that is like quite a bit. I'm still like 8 pounds up from that little bit, and it's actually still working. I'm sticking to my bracelet points again. I am gonna have to, now that I actually know where the monster lies, I have to start working on that, so that's gonna be really great. But I got some good news. I've been handing out these sample bracelets to people so they could try them out. One report I got is that they're too heavy, so we're probably going to ditch the bead idea with and get real beads in order to keep practicing this. I might keep this version just so there's an industrial version for people like me who work outside, and glass and stone beads are just going to get cracked and broken and destroyed. But I'm going to bring in some stone beads. That will bring up the price a little bit, but honestly, this is more of a project for trending. If it sells, then that's great, but otherwise, it's not my main employment. So how have I been eating? Well, I've been doing the protein, chocolate pudding with Jell-O, sugar-free. That's been really nice. With the yogurt, I've been doing the sugar-free, Jell-O mixes with fiber, and that's been really good to help keep me full. And I've been eating slices of this gigantic pizza. This thing is huge. And I had a whole slice of it the first night, but I definitely didn't eat any more than that. I counted it as a 7. So, like, I'm being reasonable with these points. This isn't like a fistful of food. These pieces were, bigger than my head. But then I had another one yesterday just for leftovers, and instead of finishing the whole thing, I reminded myself that if I didn't finish it, then that would let me eat more calories later. And then I was able to throw away like at least like a third of the pizza. It was like the crust side, so maybe I'm underestimating how much I threw away. And that was to a 5, and it was actually really nice. I was technically below my points yesterday by 3 points, which I'm trying to avoid doing because any kind of backsetting can trigger you into a spring forward, and we're trying to keep up energy, we're trying to build metabolism, we're trying to make sure that everything is moving quickly. We're not trying to lose weight just on a deficit. That is definitely something I've done before. It's just not very attractive. You end up getting that like Ozempic kind of look, which some people like, I guess. I don't. I like having muscle tone and reasonable weight loss and stuff like that. So we are still going on, but I did get my first good review for the bracelet. One of my friends that I gave it to came up to me yesterday and thanked me, and I asked him, I said, so is it working, and he said, yeah, it's absolutely working. It's working great. He said, thank you so much for giving me that. And I was like so excited, because I feel like so many people struggle with weight loss, myself included. People don't always believe me because I'm not 500 pounds, but I would be if I didn't fight the good fight every day, for sure. I know that about myself, and that would be incredibly unhealthy because I happen to know that at 230 pounds or so, I become pre-diabetic. So I'm sure at 500 pounds, I would have been fully diabetic and had other issues as well because of my back and everything. I think I'd be bedridden at that point, to be honest. So I'm just so grateful that I have had the determination to keep up the good fight, that I've found solutions that seem to be working for me and other people, and now I just need to know how to stick to them, so I feel like just being more reasonable during my times when I am having an easier time, I'm not having hormonal shifts make me more hungry, is a big deal, and learning how to leave food on the plate is a big deal. I've always tried to make other excuses, but this one actually seems to work the best for me. Is instead of like, save some for the angels, my neurodivergent brain doesn't like that. It's just like, the angels are not gonna eat this bite, save it for the starving children. Not even gonna fly, that's not gonna go. But if I remind myself that this food is probably going to be thrown away anyway, that if I eat more of it, it's just not going to make me eat less later. I'm just going to get a bigger stomach and it's going to make me eat more later. So I'm actually wasting more food if I finish this food. If I tell myself that eating a smaller portion means I can eat more later, I can get myself excited, a little dopamine boost about that, like, ooh, you're gonna have like a cupcake or something, you know what I mean? And half the time that cupcake never comes, you know. But it's just like a more reasonable option for me to do it that way. So I know it's been like a long journey. We've been doing this for almost a year now, and I feel like I've only really gotten good positive results since trying the bracelet. That was still 3 months ago. I should, by all means, if I had been able to stick to the plan, I should be at my goal weight right now. But, you know, things being as they are, I like to give myself all the time I need to get what I need done. And so we're staying back on the horse. I will keep you updated as the weight continues to fall off, which we already know is going to happen. So at this point, we're just waiting for another hormone cycle to come in so that I can work on methods to work against that fight. You know, some things I might try is more hot tea. I've heard that things like trying to think of one of the things. There's just different, for the love of Pete, lemon balm is supposed to be a good herb to help reduce things like that. And I might start looking into things that might help balance my hormones during that time. Maybe a different supplement even. I do the beef organ vitamins, but it's possible that, you know, something else would be more beneficial. And, you know, so I'm probably going to go hit up the local Sprouts and go talk to the pharmacist over there. They tend to have a pretty good list over in that vitamin section of different things that can help. That being said, I got tired of having gummies for the weed. It worked for like the first 3 days, but my tolerance level is just through the roof on almost everything, and it gets me in trouble. It either ends up costing me too much money, or, you know, like say smoking weed, you end up smoking too much, and that's like damaging your lungs like very bad, because you are inhaling so much to get that level of THC in you. But then even the gummies, I mean, I had, the first day I had the gummies, I think the reason why I said they worked is because I had 500 milligrams of THC in like an afternoon. It wasn't even a whole day. And so, yeah, I felt it. And then by day 2, it was kind of less. By day 3, it was like nothing. By day 4, it was like nothing. And we're at the point where gummies don't work on me anymore. So I'm doing what's definitely called like a tolerance break. For one, I'm over the whole habit of smoking for the most part. I still kind of get jealous if I see someone smoking, but not really, because I remind myself I like to breathe. And I'm kind of like, THC doesn't really have the same addictive properties as nicotine, and so like at this point, all I have to do is tell my brain, like, it's not going to do anything anyway. You're just throwing your money away. You might as well just like to, you know, go buy yourself a nice lunch. It'll do more for you, you know. And so I am officially cold turkeyed off of everything. I am 100% completely sober, which is a slightly dangerous place for me because it leaves food as like one of my only last dopamine refuges left. It's definitely like my last cheap one. So I have to work on having like tiny little dopamine boosts that are food and switching mostly to exercise. Again, that is really difficult to do for me. I usually start with exercise and then let the diet follow. This time I did it kind of the opposite way. I'm trying to like lose the weight and then just like exercise whenever I get in touch with myself enough to do that. But I'm just dragging feet on that, you know, and it's just, I have to keep reminding myself, and this is definitely the next phase, is that the dopamine's around the corner there. It's just there. It's going to take routines. It's going to take time. When once I can get into a good solid exercise routine, I'm going to be getting runner's highs. I'm going to be feeling, you know, just my body pain is going to be erased, and so I'm just going to be feeling dopamined up from that, you know, and things like that. And I know because I've been there. You know, if it weren't for the ADHD, I'd still be on track with all that stuff. So, you know, but I didn't even know I had it at the time. And so, you know, we keep going, we keep pursuing, and we use the tools that we have, we use the knowledge that we have, we accept and are grateful for our wisdom, and remember to treat ourselves very, 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 very well. Cheers, guys.